What's up guys, today is gonna be a little bit different because this video is part 1 of a full tutorial series where I'm going to teach you how to make a complete AMV from scratch. In this specific part we're going to cover how to prepare your clips because that's usually the very first step. There's also editors who make storyboards and stuff, but honestly you're a beginner and I don't think you need that stuff right now. I'm just trying to make these tutorials as simple as possible with enough information so you can start editing some very decent AMVs. Alright, let's get right into the video. So the first question I usually get asked is, where do I find the clips? Well, there's 3 methods. The first one is on YouTube, the second one is on a Discord server, and the third one is on a website. So I'm first going to show you the website one. So you can go to Google and there's one very good one and it's called Anime Clips Online. And this one basically has a lot of anime clips, but still not that many in my opinion. Like there were times where I wanted to download some clips for my AMV and I just couldn't find them on this site. So usually this site is very good for popular anime. But if you have like an anime which is not that popular, then sometimes you can't really find it on here. So if you can't, you just go to YouTube and here you can just search something like AMV clips in description or just clips in desk. Alright, and then here you can find a lot of AMVs which just use like clips in description in their title. If you click on one, you can just go to the description and you can see you have the clips ready here. And that's also a really useful method. If you don't have much inspiration for like your clip selection as well, then this is really useful because you can literally have an example of how it will look. I have to say though, sometimes they just make an AMV and then without putting it in the title, they'll still have a link to their clips. So you just gotta check that, right? The last method is through a Discord server. So there's one really good one, which I always use, which is called Anime Clip Scan. And I'll also leave a link in the description for this one. So every link that I mention, I will just leave it in the description. Yeah, they have like a channel called Anime Clips, and here you have a lot of anime. So with these 3 methods, you should be able to find your clips. And if you can't, then you should just download the full anime online. So the name of your anime and then download after that. But then you gotta like scroll through the entire series to find your clips, which is sometimes very time consuming, so I usually don't do that. Alright, so once you've downloaded all those clips, so I just recommend going to the website or the YouTube link or the Discord server and just downloading the clips that you need. And then afterwards you're gonna place them in a folder so you can easily decide what clips you want to use eventually. So for example, now I have 19 clips. But before I had like 50 clips and I had to make like kind of a selection of what clips look good. Now the things I looked at were the movement. So for example, for a vibe style edit, this clip looked really nice, as you can see. Only your eyes move, and I think that just looks kind of nice because there's not a lot of movement. Now if you're making a flow edit, you do want a lot more movement because that will help you a lot more with creating the flow. And if you only have like still clips, then it's kind of hard to do. But for creating the style you saw in the intro, you don't really need clips that have a lot of movement, just a little bit, you know. Alright, so the next step is to copy all those clips and then go to a folder where you can always see them. So let's go to data, and then I have this folder called edit clips. And then here I already created some folders, so I usually call it clips and then the name of the edit. And then I got a few more folders, so the first one is audio, and then here you'll put your song and other audio files. And then create another folder called media, and here you'll put some images. And then the last one you should worry about for now is prep clips. So these are like our prepared clips. So you just put them in here. By the way, these other 2 folders, like compressed clips and smooth clips, the compressed clips are basically clips that have like a lower file size, so I can send them to you via a link in the YouTube description. And that's useful because I don't need to waste a lot of storage to just send you guys some clips. And then eventually we're gonna edit with the smooth clips, but you haven't created these yet. I'm gonna show you that. And these are like the clips that use flowframes or Twixtor, but in this tutorial series we'll be using flowframes. So for now you shouldn't worry too much about these 2 folders, but you do need to have prep clips. Alright, so the next step is to create a new After Effects project, and then you want to select the resolution of your clips. So mine is 1920 and 800, and then you want to set it to 24. Alright, so here you can drag in a clip, for example this one. And then we basically want to remove the dead frames. And you probably heard this before. If you didn't, dead frames are basically frames that don't change. So for example, if you go frame by frame, you can see this frame didn't change. So this is a dead frame. Now if you go one more further, now it changed. So this one is a good frame. And then if you go one more further, okay, it changed. This one didn't change, so this is a dead frame. And we basically want to remove all those dead frames. So the first thing we're going to do is press Ctrl-Alt+T. And then it opens up time remap. Then we want to go frame by frame, so you can use page down and page up to go 1 frame forwards or 1 frame backwards. If you don't have that, you can just click frame by frame. Alright, so we're gonna go 1 frame forwards, didn't change, 1 frame again, All right, here it changed. So we're going to add a keyframe. Changed again, add a keyframe. Didn't change, no keyframe. Changed again, we add a keyframe. And we'll just do that for the rest of the clip. All right, so we ended up creating this because here it's completely still. What you want to do is just drag this keyframe at the end towards here. And then just cut it right here. So this is like an extra frame. You don't want to make it like this, because then you'll lose one frame at the end. So you just want to make sure you have all those moving frames in it. All right, then you want to drag them all to the beginning like this. And there are scripts that can do this, and these will make the process way faster. But if you don't worry about it. You can just do it this way. All right, and then just move it like this. Okay, so now as you can see, your clip might look really fast, but that's not really a problem, because once we put it into flow frames and we make the frame rate higher, we will just be able to slow it down by a lot and you won't see it lagging. All right, so now you just want to export this and put this into the prep clips folder. All right, so now we got a clip that looks like this, and then you're also going to delete the original clip. So you'll end up with a folder which only has these fast clips without any dead frames. All right, the next step is flow frames. So I'll leave a link in the description down below. It's free, so you shouldn't worry too much about it. And then we're just going to put the clip inside of here. So just drag it in like this. All right, now a few settings. The first thing, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can use this first option here. So definitely use that one. If you don't have that graphics card, then you can choose a different one. All right, then the next thing should be automatically correct. So this is basically the location of your clip. Then the one below it is where you want to export it. So let's browse it. And then now we want to go to the folder called Smooth Clips. All right, select the folder. It should already automatically detect that it's 24 FPS. And now we just want to multiply the frames by 10. So now we have 240 FPS. Then a last thing I like to do, you saw earlier that our clip was kind of fast, so you can also slow it down by 2. So when we're editing, it's a little easier to see what you're working with. All right, the last thing is this AI model. I just put it to 4.0 because, I don't know, it's the latest version, so that's all right, I guess. And then the encoding, you should put it to AMV video, so Apple ProRes, which is, by the way, just a very good codec for editing. All right, now we're gonna press interpolate and the AI model will do its job. All right, and now if you go into smooth clips, once it's done, you should see the clip here. And you can already tell it's a little bit smoother, but in After Effects, when we slow it down even more, you'll see that it has a lot more frames. I already called these like clip 1, clip 2, clip 3, clip 4, and you can do that too. But you don't need to, because sometimes you just don't know yet in what order you're going to use them. But if you do, then definitely call them something cleaner, like this. Alright, so now you got your clips prepared. You won't need to worry about it in the future anymore, which is really good, because once you're editing, you don't really want to worry anymore about putting a clip into flow frames or something like that. So now they're completely done, and in the next tutorial, I'll show you how to actually use them within After Effects. Alright, hopefully you've learned a lot, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. And if you want me to help you even more with After Effects, then make sure to go to the first link in the description down below. Alright, bye bye.